back, relax, and maybe get yourself a snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books. Hey guys, so I am here today to do a book haul, which I haven't done for a while. So I have got a roundup of a couple of new books that have been sent to me or that I've picked up, a couple of books that I bought on Kindle, and a couple of books that I bought on audio. So let's just dive straight on into the book haul because there's quite a few to go through. I received this in the post the other day and it was wrapped up in this little bag, and then the book inside was wrapped up with a ribbon. So I haven't actually looked at it yet because I wanted to do it on camera. So the book that I've been sent is this one, which I think is a kid's book. It looks very much like it's a kid's book from looking at the cover design. This is obviously an ARC copy. It comes out in October. It's called The Miraculous Sweet Makers, The Frost Fair by Natasha Hastings. It says, when faced with danger, the greatest magic is friendship, and it is illustrated by Alex T. Smith. The illustrations aren't in yet, it just says artwork to come. I wonder what the illustration style is like, because I don't think I've seen this illustrator before. However, this one does sound like it'll be fun. It says it's a cold winter during the Great Frost of 1683. Thomasina and Anne are the best of friends. One runs her father's sweet shop whilst the other is an apprentice at the family apothecary, and together they sell their goods on the frozen River Thames. When a family tragedy turns Thomasina's world upside down, she is drawn to a mysterious conjurer and an enchanted frost fair, but soon the world of Father Winter threatens to claim everything she holds dear. Will they be able to solve the magical mysteries that surround them? So it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. I think the cover looks stunning. This is what the actual cover is going to look like. So I'm excited for that. And yeah, fun kids book. Haven't read a kids read for a while, so I'm excited to give this a go. Next up, another one that was kindly sent to me. This one is quite a short one. It is called The Bruising of Quilwa.
Quilwa? Not sure how you say that.
It says that it is in a similar vein to things like the Broken Earth trilogy, which is a pretty big claim. It's about a character called Firoz Jafari, who is immigrating into the free democratic city-state of Quilwa, fleeing the slaughter of other traditional Samsian blood magic practitioners in their homeland. Despite the precarious status of refugees in Quilwa, Firoz has found a good job at a free healing clinic, but their employer has discovered a new disease spreading through the city, and they suspect ineptly performed blood magic is to blame. So blood magic sounds pretty creepy, but I'm down for it. I do like a bit of like necromancy, blood magic, that kind of thing. For some reason I like that, so I'm interested. However, this is a short book, so I'm also keen to see how well it's done, because I often find short books are a little bit less convincing to me, but I hope that this will be a kind of exception to the rule, maybe, and will make me really love it. Also, it's going to be a quick read, so hopefully I can get to this relatively soon. But let me know if you've heard anything about this, what you thought of it, if you read it. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts. Next up, I have some books that I picked up for myself. The first one of these is The Six Crimson Cranes. This is by Elizabeth Lim. Now, I'll be honest that I bought this 100% because of the cover. I loved the cover of this. I think it is gorgeous, and I just couldn't resist it. I really don't know an awful lot about it, but it just says on the back, Princess in Exile, a shape-shifting dragon, 6 enchanted cranes, and an unspeakable curse. It will take more than magic to find their way home. And this cover, I don't know who did it. Let's see if we can find out. So cover illustration was by Kelly Chong, and design was by Lydia Blagden at Hodder and Stoughton. So honestly, so stunning. Like, let me just hold it out like that. Don't you think that is just one of the most beautiful covers you've ever seen in your life? This could literally just be like a print on your wall and it would be stunning. I love it. So I really didn't need to know a lot more about the book. It's about 450 pages and I hope the story is as good as the cover. We will see. Next up, I have one that was sent to me. This is In the Heart of Hidden Things by Kit Whitfield or Whitefeld. not quite sure. This one also has a very pretty cover, although this one is slightly darker in tone because you can see like there is a little wolfy character poking their nose out and there's like thorns down the bottom here. It says someone has to hold the forge on the back. Everyone knows if you fall afoul of the people you must travel miles to Gwyford, where uncounted generations of fairy smiths have protected the country with cold iron, good counsel and unvarnished opinions about your common sense. But shielding the weak from the strong can make enemies. Ephraim Brady has power and money, and the bitter will to hurt those who cross him, and if he can't touch the elder farrier, Jedediah Smith, he can harm those the Smiths care about. It sounds like it's going to be a bit of a revenge, kind of, enemies sort of thing. Fae as well. Haven't read a book with Fae in for ages, so I'm pretty excited to read this. Definitely something that I think is going to be fun. So I'm looking forward to this. And finally, for the physical books, although I also have this on ebook because I picked it up on ebook the other day because I realised it is chunky and I'm going to need to probably read the Kindle version, but I love having the paperback. This is an indie book which was sent to me by the author. It is Light Fighters Star Children Saga book number 2. The first one is Moon Deeds. I've done a full review of Moon Deeds on the channel because I absolutely loved that one. I read it for SBFBO a few years back and I loved it. And this is book 2. It is, I think, chunkier than book 1 by a fair bit. I'm excited to read it. I would say this is probably more of an adult series than it is YA. But yeah, excited to check this one out and continue on. As I say, I do have the Kindle version as well, so hopefully I will get to this very, very soon. This is one to keep your eye open for because I think that I will be reviewing this pretty soon. Next up, let's move on to the Kindle books. So first up, I picked up Leviathan by Scott Westfeld. This one, I believe, is set kind of in a version of the First World War. We are following a prince called Prince Alexander, who is the would-be heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne. That is hard to say. His own people have turned on him and he is now worthless. He has a battle-torn war machine and a loyal crew of men, and there is also a commoner who is disguised as a boy in the British Air Service. She is actually a brilliant airman, but her secret is in constant danger of being discovered. With World War I brewing, Alec and Darren's paths meet and cross in the most unexpected way. So I think this is a YA series, I believe. I remember a lot of people reading this when I was in school. I picked it up because it was going to be a book club book, but apparently the print version is really expensive at the moment, I guess because it's been out for quite a while. I'm not sure if there's a reprint or not, but it's pretty pricey, so if you're going to pick this one up, potentially pick it up on Kindle or ebook, something like that. But yes, I have always wanted to try this, and I've read other books by Scott Westfeld and I enjoyed them, so hopefully I'll enjoy this one as well. But I don't know when I'm going to get to it because, as I say, it's no longer the book club book. But hey ho, I will read it at some point. Next up, I have a couple of books which I picked up because they just sounded good. Some of them are indies. So this one is an indie at the moment, I think. This is A Touch of Light, and this says, "The dead shall not be mourned or remembered, for death is the enemy and will only drive the Serra away. How far would you go to resurrect someone you love? Would you change who you are to show you belong? The world of Avarian is tearing itself apart. The domain worships life, its leaders lead eternal lives, and death is a shame that must not be mourned. But for the clans to the south, death is all that keeps Earth alive." I'm not going to go into too many more details than that, but I will say I really enjoy the cover of this one, and that was the initial thing that drew me to it, and then I saw some discussion online of people saying how much they liked it, so I definitely wanted to pick this one up, and it was pretty cheap on Kindle, I think, only a couple pounds. So for an indie book, I always like to support indies where I can, and this one just sounded like a lot of fun. Next up, I have one on my Kindle that I picked up because of Petrick, I believe. This one is Illborn, and this one I have heard good things from various different reviewers now, but it says, "Long ago the Lord Aegial emerged from the deserts of the Holy Land possessed with divine powers. He used these to forcibly unite the peoples of Angal before his ascension to heaven. Over 800 years later, in a medieval world where war is threatening and religious persecution too, 4 young men and women have begun to develop supernatural abilities. These forbidden and secret powers will shatter their lives that they have known and will force each of them to confront the mystery of the ethereal gate which haunts their dreams." So that sounds very ominous and very cool, and as I say, I've heard great things about the writing and just generally about this book, so hopefully I will like it as well. Next up, I picked up The Shadows of Dust by Alec Hudson. This one I just loved the cover of, and I've heard very good things about this author, so I thought I would give him a go. So the blurb for this one is: the streams bind together the vast reaches of the stellar tributary, plied by brave stream surfers and their telepathic star beasts, which already sounds cool because who does not want a star beast, whatever that is. Some of these adventurers are heroes, some are rogues, and some just want to return to the void with their bodies and minds unbroken. Kerin Thon Taliesin is heir to a legendary name. When he was a young boy, his grandfather swooped down from the stars and rescued him from the slums of his homeworld. But with death of the infamous old dream surfer, Kerin and his crew have fallen on hard times, and they must take on risky contracts in shadowy margins of the stellar tributary. So I think this is obviously a sci-fi. It sounds like it's going to be a fun one that kind of melds a little bit of the fantasy in with the sci-fi, so I think that is my favourite kind of sci-fi that's not super duper heavy on the science, but more just like the setting is sciencey and fictiony, science fictiony, spacey, that kind of thing. I'm very curious about the star beasts. What are they? I'm very excited. So yeah, pick this one up. Next up, I picked up another sci-fi. This one is by a well-known author, and that is Unconquerable Sun by Kate Elliott. This is the first in her Sun Chronicles series, which is a sci-fi series from her. It is blurbed as gender-swapped Alexander the Great on an interstellar scale, which, to be honest, is all I need to know because that just sounds cool. So we are following Princess Sun. Basically, it sounds like it's going to be cool, and the main character is a female instead of a male, so I am down for a space princess to do whatever she's going to do to keep her empire under control. The next one that I picked up is actually one I picked up on audio, and this is Her Majesty's Royal Coven, and this one is a witchy book. Now, I was just kind of in the mood for a witchy book, and this is a newer release. I think it only came out a month or two ago. I'm intrigued to see how Juno Dawson does witches. I don't know an awful lot about it, but I think it's a kind of secret society about a group of childhood friends who also just happen to be witches. So hopefully it's an easy listen. I'm probably going to queue this one up relatively soon in my Audible listen list. So yeah, let me know if you guys have read this one, what you thought of it. I've seen mixed reviews since I bought this, so I'll be interested to see where I fall on that. And the last one that I'm going to talk about here is Along the Razor's Edge by Rob J. Hayes, which is the first one in the War Eternal series by him. I have read quite a few of his books actually and enjoyed them. He does various different themes within the fantasy and sci-fi genres, and I've enjoyed a lot of what he writes. And this one is about a darker theme, I think. It says, no one escapes the pit. At just 15, Eskara Helsane fought in the greatest war mankind has ever known, fought and lost. There is only one place her enemies would send a sorcerer as powerful as her, the pit, a prison sunk so deep into the earth that the sun is a distant memory. Now she finds herself stripped of magic, a young girl surrounded by thieves, murderers, and worse. In order to survive, she will need to find new allies, play the inmates against each other, and find a way out. It sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun, definitely a grimdark style fantasy, and I'm excited to read another thing by Rob J. Hayes, as I've not read anything by him for a while, and I'm definitely feeling like I need to. So those are all the books that I recently picked up or were sent. Let me know if you've read any, got any on your TBR, or if you think there's anything that I'm missing that I should be picking up that is a recent release or just an old release that I don't have. Let me know, and I will see you all very soon in another video. Bye everyone.
Thank you for watching my video today. Go pick up a book, then come back and chat with me again.